Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. It's another noisy day in the neighborhood, so I've got an external mic on. I hope the sound is okay. You're looking at my Jacaranda Forest, and this is the beast I'm going to be pruning up today. All right, you're looking at the back of the planting because this is the side I had facing the sun in our south window, and I was trying my best to let three little cuttings that I put in here just before I brought it inside last year. I wanted them to survive, but they have not, as you can see. So I'm going to pull them out. They were doing fine, but no matter what I did, I could not get light to them with these guys, even when I had it facing this way and everything was going in the other direction. Now, the planting looks good. There's no doubt about it. I don't even know if I need those trees back there, but I did like them for depth. I wish I had a little more room to plant them in. But as you can see, this forest is completely out of control. Now I'm going to switch over to my cell phone to do some close-ups in here and show you one of the problems that I face with this planting. I have found jacarandas to be very, very difficult to create branching. You cut them back and they send up two shoots. One invariably dies off, the other one takes off. In this case, this one did get another shoot, and it's not dead, but it's very weak. So it sent up another shoot, which I cut back. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, I cut back, and the other one died off. This one took off. This is the one that I've been most successful with. But even that is looking pretty sickly. This one got two shoots and one died off. This one got two shoots and one is way stronger than the other. And in this case, the second shoot died off completely. So I have been very unsuccessful in getting this to branch. So I've pretty much resigned to the fact that for this forest I have to rely on the foliage for a canopy. I can't have branching. These are not branches. These are individual leaves. Even though they are multiple leaves or compound leaves, they are leaves, they're not branches. And I hope you can hear this. I'll go back to my iPad. I love this planting. I love jacarandas. Look at the leaf. They're beautiful and fractal, meaning they start out very, very, very small, but they look just like they do when they get very big. I also have this issue of them dropping leaves or dropping leaflets, which is not to be confused with dropping leaflets. I think my strategy will be just to go in and clean up the places where things have died, chop things back further if I can, and then just take the whole thing down. The good thing about this forest, or this tree in particular, is that it's pretty reliable. If you cut it back, you're going to get new growth. This one's weird, but it's in here nicely. This one's weird, but it's in here nicely. They're in the back, the really strange ones. I love this forest and I love the trees, but it's still in the house. I can't trust the evening weather to take the trees that I have in my greenhouse and put them outside yet. So this has to go back in the house until I can get it into the greenhouse where it'll spend the summer months. It doesn't mind the heat. But I do have to watch the water. As you can see when I hope you can see this. When I run my hand over it, it drops leaves like crazy. And it's not for lack of water. Although there have been times this tree will tell you when it needs water. These will just droop right down. So I've got to go back to pretty much no foliage. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is just take off any of the dead branches that I see and try and take back the places where I cut it back and I want to make it so it heals over. And they do heal over nicely. This is healed beautifully. This is healed beautifully. This one's in the process of healing. It's mostly closed up. It's a little hard to get in here. Rule of forest making, for those who are brave enough to do this, you got to be able to get your hands in there. If you can't get your hands in there, you're asking for trouble. Summertime has begun on Long Island. It's Monday, and the landscape companies are out in force. This one's not that steady in here. But not to worry. I'm going to be removing a lot of the top heaviness. And I'm going to begin the wholesale pruning very soon. You'll see what I mean. There will be no foliage on this when I'm done. And within 2 weeks, I can say that with a pretty good amount of confidence, that within 2 weeks, it'll all be coming back. And I'll show you that in 2 weeks. All right. Where to begin? I'm going to begin with this tree. Let me see if I can get a good shot. Got to come up a bit. Zoom up right there. All right, this is the one that divided into two here. And both are healthy, believe it or not. But, all right, I can see there are buds right there. So I'm going to cut it back to here. It's like snow. Because I got leaves coming this way, and I'm hoping to get a branch going that way, even though the more dominant looking bud is on the inside. What can you do? And I'm going to cut this one here. So this tree is pruned up. There's a little branch there. It's not going to do anything, but I'm going to leave it. It'll just die off. I'm going to cut this back a little bit. And there's a stub here I want to remove. Okay. So this tree I'm going to take the branches off. The foliage here is not doing any good. And these will just dry up and fall off when the new foliage begins to come in. I've got a little bit of experience with this. I grew these trees from seed. My friend in California, she lives in Old Hollywood, and I think these trees either line her street or are on her property, or she goes to another tree. She sends me seeds regularly. I planted a bunch of them this year. I've got 3 that came up. So with this one, I'm going to start by cutting back the branches so I can see what I'm doing. All right. So this one I want to start branching in this direction, so I'm going to cut it right here. All right. Let's do this one. I had high hopes for this one because I did get some foliage there. So I'm cutting this back to here, and I'm hoping that this begins to branch out. If not, it will die. I mean, that's pretty clear. That's the MO of this tree. And I've seen Jacaranda Bonsai that look pretty good, but they are wired crazy. You know, they wire the branch out to make it, to wire the leader out to make it look like a branch, and it just doesn't work. So this is my tallest tree, this one and this one. So I'm going to go to here with this guy and take these branches off. All right, this guy. I mean, you can see I did hope to get 2 here, then I hoped to get 2 here, and I hoped to get 2 here, and I just didn't. So I'm going to cut this back just the tip off. And I'll take all the foliage off there. And I want this to be as tall. So I'm going to cut this back to here. All right, so now that you've seen my methodology, I'll go into fast mode. There's just one more thing I want to mention, and that is these got aphids at one time, and I treated it with soap and water. I don't know if it's because I mixed the 40-to-1 ratio wrong and it was a little too strong, but within an hour after I sprayed it with soap and water, the leaves turned brown, and the next day they all fell off. So I did a severe pruning to get rid of the aphids. I rinsed it down to get rid of the soap and water, and I've never seen aphids on it again. So let me do the rest of this in time lapse, and we'll come back and look at it when it's done. So here's my Jacaranda Forest, decimated. But I have to say, I always like it after I do this. I like the Dr. Seuss-like nature of these trees. And you will not believe, if history is any guide, that in 2 weeks I'll have new flush all over these trees. So that's it for today. Thanks for keeping me company in my backyard. Well, here it is the next day, and I've had quite a few second, third, fourth, fifth thoughts about this. And what I've decided was, if I let it start growing from here, yes, I will have been able to pick up this bifurcation here, but it's going to start growing from this point, and it will look just as bad as it did when I started. If I cut it back down, I will get growth further down, which I think will be better for the forest. So, with that in mind, I'm going further. And I'm just trying to decide how much further. And I'll talk through this with you and hopefully make some good decisions. This one, I'm pretty clear that I should cut it down to here. And these three should be about the same height. They are the most prominent trees in the forest. So that's what I'm going to do. So here I go. First one. This one has the ability to grow from here. So I'm going to do that. Notice I'm cutting it down below where I cut it last time. This one too. I'm thinking I should leave that, or should I cut that? Let me cut that down, and hopefully it'll branch out there and not just die off. This one, I've got some leaf scars there, so I'll cut that one down to just above those leaf scars, and that should work. This one I can take down to here. And let me get some rubber cement on those cut points before they start to drip. All right, let me take a look at the next row back. This is where it gets a little scary for me, because remember I told you this is my most successful tree. And I do want to have them getting shorter as they get to the back of the planting. And I do have room here for one tree. I think I'm going to take one tree from inside and put it here, but I want to see how things go first. So if this one has to be a little shorter than this one, I've got that ability right here. It's almost the same size though. Should I go down further? I think I will. And on the other flank, I can take this one down to here. It's pretty severe. Now this is where I'm trembling a little. This one, I can go, I think, safely to here. Oh boy, I'm trying to work my way up to this. I'm going to take this one to here. I'm going to take these down to the same length each. see what happens. This one I can go down to here safely, and I will. See what happens. I better take this one down, but to where? If I go below that cut point, I want to see where I am in relation to that tree on the other side. That tree's a little taller. I want to take this one down a little further, which makes it okay to take this one down. I'm going to take it below the cut point. This is kind of a risk, but why not? That means I should take this one down just to here, and this one to here. So these need to come down kind of severely. I'm taking this one down to here, this one to here. Did I take this one down yet? I did. This one is already pretty short, but I'm going to take it down further. And this one, I'm going to go way down below the last pruning point. So I think that's it. I'll get some more rubber cement on the new cuts. And that is it for this planting. Let's see what it does. Thank you for keeping me company in my backyard over 2 days. Cheers.